Welcome to the Hustle Factory Podcast Show.
All we do is hustle.
And here's your host, John Lindemis,
He's kind of a big deal.
bringing you amazing insights and views of entrepreneurship on today's society.
What's up, everyone? John here, and here we go again with another new episode of the Hustle Factory Podcast Show. For this month of February, another new month for the year 2019, do you guys have anything in mind, like an amazing or a fucking great goals you want to achieve for this month? Well, for me, I want to have a total of 100 plays on my podcast through Anchor. Also, would love to get at least 2 people supporting my podcast by simply, donating a certain amount. And I'll tell you more how you can do that for me at the end of this episode. Anyways, let's hop on in today's episode where I'll be talking about habits again. But this time, I'll be discussing the 7 essential habits that everyone should practice. Before we get started, if you haven't listened to the previous episode, then make sure to check it out through Anchor and also on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and other platforms as well. You know, entrepreneurs are such a rare and interesting breed. They have this mentality of an extraordinary drive and determination and the endless pursuit of their own dreams and goals regardless of how many times they fail, right? So if you're an entrepreneur, do you agree with this statement? If so, go ahead and tweet it on our Twitter at HFactoryPodcast and make sure to use the hashtag HFBS so that way I can easily keep track of all the tweets from you guys. And did you know some of the most successful entrepreneurs and even individuals have failed so many fucking times? Although that's not all what sets them apart. Real successful entrepreneurs and individuals have formed a set of fucking amazing positive habits that make them fucking great. So, let's get started with the 7 essential habits every entrepreneur and individual should practice. Heading on the first on the list is one of the most basic, yet simplest habits to practice as an entrepreneur, and that is to save more money. Save some of that hard-earned dough. Literally save everything. As an entrepreneur, you should always try hard to develop a habit where you don't make any crazy impulse purchases like that Gucci handbag that you really don't need. And yes, I'm talking to all the ladies out there who are very self-conscious of how they look or even how others think of you. Not to worry, I got some for us guys too. Like how about the latest pair of Jordans that literally cost hundreds of dollars? I mean, do you really need them? At most times, you'll do it anyways because it's just a natural act we all do. Been there, done that. So it will be way better off if you set aside 20% of everything you brought in. So just remember, applying a huge amount of discipline is now the key to success and even financial freedom later. Going into the second essential habit every entrepreneur should practice is that getting your ass on bed early and waking up early as hell. This is another habit where it is just so simple, yet many people struggle to do it. And I get it, guys. Been on the same boat as well. Back then, I always get like around 2 to 4 hours of sleep a day, which makes me always being grumpy, feeling unproductive, and most of the time having lack of motivation for the day. And I know, it sucks. And I know that all of us have different lifestyles, and I fucking get it. It could be that you have a night shift or a morning shift job, or you could be doing something at night and you have a little rest. I get it. But whatever it is, all of us don't have the same lifestyle. And I'm not saying or even suggesting that you go ahead and throw everything out and start doing it. Hell no. All I'm saying is at least give an effort of practicing this habit. And trust me, this habit took me a fucking long time to get the hang of it. But with practice and consistency, you will get the hang of it in no time. Plus, when you finally get the hang of this habit almost every single day, I can promise you that then you will be fucking amazed at how much you can accomplish and how quickly your lifestyle improves. Here's your third essential habit is you should always get on the practice of setting your daily goals. Here's one of my favorite habits that I always practice every single fucking day. Great successful individuals definitely know that if they want to start their day and get things done, then they need to set some daily goals. It can vary from getting your usual morning coffee on Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, making calls to your prospects for your business, and for me, well, check out my feed on all my social media platforms, not to mention podcasting, and for my personal branding as well. So if you already set those long-term goals and know exactly what direction you're heading in, use them to keep you on track all the way. Into the fourth essential habit that you should always practice is seeking inspiration from others. You heard me right, guys. Seek inspiration from others. Let me put it this way, guys. Even the keenest entrepreneurs can hit a plateau during their life, which results from suffering a huge, annoying mental roadblock, to speak. Sometimes it's just so fucking annoying and even frustrating as fuck to deal with this while overcoming challenging obstacles. And that's just natural, you know? And with that being said, for all the reason, it's very fucking important to seek inspiration in all of its many forms. And did you know that today, inspiration can be found literally fucking everywhere? Yes, I'm talking about online and offline. And check this out. Often the best places you can get inspired through sources like books, YouTube channels, and even podcasts like this one you're listening to right now. I mean, I hope. By watching YouTube videos, reading motivational books, and especially listening to a podcast will definitely help you remember what you're doing in the first place. And you know what? Over the years, some of the most successful individuals have tasted failure during their journey. So when that happened, they needed to turn somewhere and lost most of the time. That being said, they needed to seek some sort of inspiration. It could be from this very episode alone, their mentors, any motivational YouTube videos or books, and so much fucking more. So just remember that there's no fucking such thing as a shortcut to success, and all it takes is a huge fucking effort, hard work, consistently over time. That's the truth. Wow. We are now in the fifth essential habit is that you should always practice, and that is taking massive action. As simple and cliche as it sounds, taking massive action is the fucking heart and core of any great successful entrepreneurs. If you want to succeed, then it's not just enough to just plan. You also need to take some action on a very consistent basis. Just know that no matter how little the action might be, as long as you do it consistently, never giving up, success will eventually come. Very similar to some of the traits and habits of great entrepreneurial leaders to have is that you may take an action to be the main mentality of your mind. Then I can promise you, if you stay consistent with it, then your goals will be a reality sooner or later. Did you know that the hardest fucking part about taking action is never giving up when you face some challenging obstacles in life? So I'm sure by now that you guys already know or figured it out that it is so fucking hard to achieve something huge or monumental. While we're in the midst of battling a ridiculously uphill battle, keeping up the energy to take a massive action is the last thing on our minds. Although, these difficult times will not last long, because they will eventually give way to success and opportunity as long as you stay committed to it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The sixth essential habit everyone should practice is none other than stop fucking investing on the things that aren't paying off. Now, let's be clear with something first. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about the things you give so much of your time and emotion to others, and especially they're so much more fucking valuable. Specifically speaking, I'm talking about the things you tend to invest your time on, the things that aren't paying off at all, or more likely wasting your time at all. Here's just some simple examples, kind of crap you should never waste your time on. First one, the 9 to 5 job you despise so much. Negative individuals like, yes, negative individuals, and yes, I'm talking about to all the fucking haters and doubters out there. So if you got something to say to me, then hey, bring it on. And especially to other people's opinion about you. Straight fucking facts, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember, at the end of the day, the people you associate with will always fucking shape the kind of life you will lead, and always make sure to surround yourself who can motivate and push you to the next level. Here we go. The seventh and final essential habit everyone should practice is being persistent as fuck no matter what. Everyone has already heard an old saying or motto that is never give up. To some people who think this is a very simple or corny as fuck saying, then let me go ahead and paraphrase that one at the end, at my own version at the end of this episode. Many idiots out there fail to comprehend the huge importance of this habit. They really do. They are just so fucking clueless as hell about it. This group of individuals are the same kind of individuals who always criticize and ridicule your dreams and goals. And you know what? The greatest and most successful entrepreneurs have failed so many times, yet they've gotten back to their feet and tried again. They never fucking give up and even complain about it. See, the thing about success is that it only takes one time to succeed. It just doesn't fucking matter how many times you fail. So here are some of the following real stories that I've looked up on the internet lately, and I would like to share about these successful individuals who once failed and never give up. Check this out. So the first one is pretty much like, it's one of the most famous of them all, is Thomas Edison failed over 10,000 times inventing the light bulb. And I believe there's a very amazing and profound quote by Thomas Edison about he failed 10,000 times. It's only a 10,000 times attempt, not a failure. Anyways, the second one is inventor of the first ever automobile is Henry Ford's first two businesses went under and didn't do well. Kind of sucks, right? And everyone should know this by now. Third one is Colonel Sanders from KFC was rejected 1,009 times before he finally found a restaurant that will accept his chicken franchise model that we all love about the chicken. I mean, I don't know about Colonel Sanders now, but because I'm more like into Popeyes and all that. Nah, I'm just kidding. Anyways, for example of this, the former CEO of Starbucks is Howard Schultz was turned down by the big banks 242 times. And finally, author of the Harry Potter books, J.K. Rowling, get rejected by all the 12 major publishers at that time. Wow. The fact that she got rejected by 12 major publishers at the time, but now look at her. She's a huge success. Now, the question is, did they give up after those failed attempts? Hell no. Well, if they have given up so easily, then these individuals will never be able to achieve and taste the stories of the success that they are known for. Just remember that persistence is just by far one of the fucking greatest habits of every great and successful entrepreneur or individual in general. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The 7 essential habits everyone should practice in order to be successful in life. Before we get this episode wrapped up, here are some few things I would like to address. No matter what stage of the game you're in, whether you're starting thing becoming a Twitch or a YouTube streamer, becoming an amazing independent artist, or even, hey, starting your own podcast like me, make sure to embody these 7 essential habits into practice. Do that, and I can certainly for sure that the only thing will separate you from greatness is time. Oh yes, here's the most important thing you guys need to know. Never fucking give up, no matter what. If you fail, so what? Get your whining ass up and get your shit together and get ready to try again. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the version of never giving up from the last habit. Well, I truly appreciate for the time for listening on today's episode. So if you enjoy listening to my podcast, it will mean a world to me if you can support my podcast by donating through the Anchor app or website. It could be any amount starting from 99 cents, $4.99, and $9.99. By donating whatever amount you choose, you are helping me, creating more amazing and inspirational content for this podcast. And don't forget to rate and review my podcast on iTunes and Spotify as well. Or, you know what, simply leave a voice message on Anchor, and I will get back with you guys as soon as possible. Well, what are your thoughts on this episode, guys? Which one of these habits do you practice all the time? If you got one, go ahead and do a quick tweet on the podcast Twitter at HFactoryPodcast. And do make sure you use the hashtag HFPS for that tweet. And if you seriously love this episode, make sure to share this new episode with everyone you know and spread the word about hustle, the process, the game. Just want to do a quick announcement for this podcast is that I'll be opening up some more social media networks for this podcast. So make sure to keep an eye out on the news and updates on Twitter and Facebook. Well, make sure to join me again at the end of this month for another new episode of the Hustle Factory podcast show. And next time, I got another amazing episode for you guys to hear and get inspired from. I hope that you guys get inspired and motivated on my podcast. If you do, make sure to share this to everyone you know and support my podcast as well. On that, I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.